And just like that, we are live. We are live today from the balcony. Um, Done a few episodes out here. Let's get my position right. Welcome to the Liquor Lab Breakdown. Merry Christmas. It is December 25th, 2025. It's a beautiful day in St. Pete. Um, Just super excited. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers, all the traction I've been getting. It's just perseverance. You just got to keep going. I mean, I remember episode 1 through 8, I couldn't even get the audio right. So, really exciting stuff. Just going to cover a few things. Wanted to go live today just to keep the content going as everybody starts consuming the content, just get more and more traction, right? Um, Everyone seems to be liking my comments on Joe Rogan's stand-up. Joe, dear Joe, this is not about your podcast or the guests you have on. Sometimes I feel like you don't really push. You have your own conversation with them, but that's good. You're not having your interview to accomplish anyone's agenda, which is great. So keep doing that. As far as your stand-up goes, it sounds like you're like pushing out a kidney stone. Ain't gonna lie. Yeah, so a lot of things just quietly happening this week. And I know at the end of the last episode, I went over booking a trip on AI and with AI, ChatGPT in particular, and just it stops. It's just all informational. You have to actually go and book it yourself. Well, gradually, apps are starting to integrate into. They're starting to integrate into the AI platforms, and Stubhub just launched that today or a few days ago, where you'll be able to purchase tickets right through the app. Coinbase is suing a few states over their prediction market rules. Then a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And Airbnb, this is what I want to talk about with Airbnb, right? Airbnb is over. Airbnb is over. I went to go look at a quick trip to Puerto Rico. The cost per night, now, granted, I've always been someone who's ahead of or is in the know on these new platforms. I mean, there was a place in Cabo Rojo that I booked that I was the first guest there. And this is 6-7 years ago I was using Airbnb, but those times the Airbnb was it was no more than 150 a night. Now I'm looking at places that are absolute dumps built in like the late 70s, 80s, and they want 300-400 a night. Airbnb is so over. And then I was listening to a podcast, another guy who he was a startup in like a few of these Airbnb type of, you know, these Airbnb type of properties or what do they call it? These roll ups of all these places for rent, vacation rentals. And he's now starting something where you have to be like professionally managed and you can get on the platform, and the fees are basically, there's no fees to the user. But getting back, Airbnb is completely done. It's done. I mean, I stayed, especially in Puerto Rico. I even noticed Colombia is more expensive. It's just all this bureaucracy. And now it's not like this new frontier. It's if we all raise our rates, people are going to pay more up to a point, because eventually they won't pay more and they'll just be stuck with vacancies. There's uproars in Barcelona where all the people there are saying that the Airbnbs are driving up prices because everyone's a tourist. I did stay at an Airbnb in Madrid. It was a great experience, but we are seeing that Airbnb and this cheaper than a hotel for a luxury spot is completely done. It's completely done. Just looking in Isabela, Puerto Rico, uh, San Juan, Cabo Rojo, it's way too expensive for there being some sort of, shine or shiny object to booking with Airbnb. It's just not there anymore. It was there for a while, but it's completely gone. I want to know what you guys think. Have you tried to I think we have some viewers. I can't even see. Yeah, we got 3 views. So has anyone had the same experience? Have you been booking or trying to book with Airbnb or I don't know, with Vibro? I don't even know what the name of that is. For a while, Booking.com and Expedia were getting into the vacation rental space, but they seem to be like dipping their toe in because now all the prices are high and it's not this I could stay in a luxury building in the penthouse for some affordable rate. I saw something in Puerto Rico, and a lot of the construction in Puerto Rico, especially once you are out of San Juan, is completely 80s, 1980s construction. They want $1,000 a night. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Want to know what you think? There are people commenting, I guess. Let's see. Oh, he met his wife using Airbnb in Brazil. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. I mean, I've met some great people who manage the properties when Airbnb first started. One is in Isabela, Puerto Rico. She has an entire compound right on the water. I stayed there, and now she has changed the business model of what she does. She used to rent out. There was a 3-room suite and all these suites in this big compound. Now she just does the whole thing, which is smart, and it's sold out. We can't even get. There's no availability there. So, yeah. So Airbnb, regardless if you met your wife, and that's fantastic. But let me know what you're seeing with the prices. I think that the rest of the world hasn't, outside of the U.S. or Puerto Rico, hasn't caught up. But some of these places is just way too expensive. Way too expensive. We're gonna actually, let's see if we could do a search right now. I'm gonna actually try to pull this up. Yeah, here we go. This is crazy. So I'm just gonna give you a sense right now. Yeah, there it is. So this is in Kissimmee, 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhouse. Now, okay, 486, not bad. But this is in Kissimmee, Florida. People, Kissimmee, Florida. Come on, gotta do better. Gotta do better. 486. Oh no, it's 486 for 2 nights. I guess this one isn't bad. What are the dates? 5-0. Let's go to Puerto Rico where I was looking. Let's go Puerto Rico. Let's go into here. Search. There we go. That's not bad. Guess I was actually looking to leave the 24th. I guess now. So what also happens is you got to be a last minute shopper because all these prices were through the roof a few days ago because they wanted the Christmas business. But now since they're vacant and Christmas is here, today's Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody, Merry Christmas, the prices have gone down significantly, which is cool. So I guess we're all going to learn a lesson today in that Airbnb, you got to shop last minute, but some of these flights are expensive. I know I was looking at Salt Lake. I was looking at a trip to Salt Lake. I was looking at a trip to Salt Lake City, and I was looking at a trip to Salt Lake, and the flights were decent, but the lodging was expensive. So again, I guess we learned that if you wait last minute, so we could reset So this is why I like to go live and look at it on the fly. I didn't look at it until today. I looked at it like 3 days ago, but I guess booking last minute's the way to go on Airbnb because they get desperate that they haven't, especially with a holiday and you want to travel last minute, makes sense to look last minute. So buy the flights, wait, and then look for the Airbnb, or then you have to default to a hotel if they have vacancies there. So interesting though. I'm gonna once I end this live, I'm gonna actually check it out myself and see what's going on for a last minute vacation just to get out of here for the new year. Cool stuff. Let's see what else I got on deck here. Can't see that well here. Oh, this is interesting. So let's read this together, right? Let's read this together. So Mark Zuckerberg so Mark Zuckerberg currently owns 342 million shares of Meta. Meta this week paid out 52 cents or 52.5 cents per share quarterly dividend. This means that Mark Zuckerberg got 179.6 million this past week just in dividends. Goddamn. Let's just let that sit in. So just from owning the stock, $179 million. God bless him. I mean, that's the business model we all need. 342 million shares of Meta, 179 million this quarter, this past week. It's fantastic. You know, I love this site or this handle, Wolf Financial. They have a lot of good stuff. You know, I really I check on them at least 3 times a day. Kind of cool. So Mark Zuckerberg's rich and getting richer by the day. What else we got here? So there's some new, how many viewers we got? We got 3 viewers. So Merry Christmas to the 3 viewers. Thanks for joining me. Just wanted to come on live as my channel starts to gain traction. The next episode, I'm going to start to, there's 4 or 5 ad tech companies. I know I dove into one, Ad Adaptive. I know I dove into one last 2 episodes ago, but this upcoming episode, I'm going to really take a look at some ad tech, creative intelligence. What's tough about ad tech and creative intelligence is that as good as AI gets, it'll never, at least in the next 5 to 10 years, it'll never substitute for a human. I just don't see. I don't see. Now, granted, there could be jobs being reduced. There could be this, but there will never be the absence, at least in the near future, of a human element in some case, because if you use a Google Performance Max campaign, and for all you acquisition people out there, if you use Google Performance Max and you're not doing and you don't have a traditional business, let's say you're trying to do lead gen for a niche, something like that, it does not work. You put in all this information, it does not work because it's trying to serve as much as possible with all the assets you put in rather than understand what the ideal target is. It wants to find out who converts, which is kind of not really the best way to do it when it comes to niche products or lead gen or targeting specific business owners in certain spaces. So AI's there, but is it there all the way? I don't really know. It's not really. let's dive in for the last thing today. We're gonna take a look at Stubhub, the AI for purchasing tickets that they just launched. They're saying that you could go into ChatGPT and we could say, and I'm using 5.2. So Tampa, hottest Tampa Bay tickets. Stubhub. Let's see if this works. So first time I'm doing this, guys. I really haven't tested this out, but this is the spontaneity of the Liquor Lab breakdown, is that I just go in. See what it's saying. Okay, there is a shopping plugin that came in. Let's see what happens. There you go. This is what I've been talking about. So let's look at concert and lightning. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This month, rest of season. So this is pretty cool. All right, it's thinking, but very interesting. I haven't been any of my searches. This is the first time I'm being prompted to actually make selections inside of ChatGPT, but that just comes from the new partnership with Stubhub. So that's why I wrote Stubhub. So if you were asking for tickets in general, would there be tickets? I don't know. Possibly. It's taking an awful long time. Okay. Here's it. Still going. Oh, the outdoor game it's talking about. See, this is too much. I just want to free. Okay, it's telling me about Vivid Seats, not StubHub, I guess. Stadium. As you can see, this is still so bulky. Oh, you could add people to the chat now, which is kind of cool. Could share it. All right. It's taking a while. Here we go. See what happens if does it let me purchase? Does it let me purchase is the question. I cannot buy tickets. Open StubHub in your research para lightning. Okay. Well, I had this whole article on how StubHub. Where is it? That's Coinbase being sued. Nothing. Oh, here it is. StubHub app launches on OpenAI. ChatGPT. Okay, so I have to go to the. See, this is. I don't want to go to the app, guys. I don't want to go to the app. This is the problem with all this stuff. Nobody. There's too much friction here. As soon as I said tickets, or as soon as I said tickets, it should have put me right into the app or suggested the app. Do I want aftermarket or do I want to look for regular tickets or I should have been prompted. Why aren't I being driven to the app? This is so much friction. There's too much friction in this process. So I'm glad we went through this because it is just too much. So StubHub launches an OpenAI, one of the first ticketing platforms to offer discovery experience. Fans can now discover concerts. Great. Real-time inventory and intelligent filtering. Who cares? I need to buy the tickets. That is the point. See, what's missing right now, and this is this Albertsons tech that's coming, is I don't want to be interrupted. I want seamlessness. I want as little friction as possible. That's what the consumer wants. I want to be doing something and be able to do some multitask without being interrupted in my primary task. So if I'm doing X underscore or subscript 1 is not interfering with X. That's what we need. So this is a message to tech companies. Hit me up. Let's walk through your tech. How do we get to this frictionless experience, frictionless conversion? I like to walk through your product and get a demo. So liquor@liquorlab.com, liquor@liquorlab.com. That's my email. Hit me up. I want to hear from you and all these tech companies. Show me what you have planned for frictionless transactions. So, a little disappointing that it didn't send me right to an app, but we're getting there. We're gonna get there. All right. Let me just wrap up. So, just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Keep watching. Keep watching. Thank you so much for all the love. I appreciate the people in the chat. Thank you so much. Just building every day. I'm going to try to go live every day. Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Yeah, that's it. We'll see each other tomorrow, and I'm going to walk through some of this ad tech that I have here. And Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for joining.